scary time. If you're watching this video during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, which I'm assuming you are, but even if you're watching it afterwards, there are times that are scary. The pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, has been a super scary time for a lot of people. I think for all of us, really, around the globe, to think that there's this kind of invisible danger, something that could kill us, could kill our loved ones, that might be hugely difficult to overcome. You know, it's scary for sure. But the problem is that we get stuck in our fear. And our fear masks our ability to have perspective and to see the bigger picture. So what I want to talk to you about today is how to overcome that, how to gain perspective again and see the big picture, and to not be so stuck in your fear. So I want you to imagine that you are hiking up a mountain. Okay, so you know that there's a beautiful view at the summit and you want to get to the summit. Okay, so you hike up the mountain and you get to the summit. As you're coming over the edge, you know, and getting closer over the, you know, sort of you're coming up the path and you begin to be able to see the view, you're struck by just the amazing beauty around you, right? You can see the panorama and you're kind of awestruck by how gorgeous it is, right? And how God in his glory created such an amazing view, right? So you're just awestruck. And you begin to move closer to the edge, right? There's kind of a cliff. You know, it's flat and a cliff, and you're going to walk towards the edge of the cliff. So the closer you get to the edge, the more afraid you become, and the less you tend to notice the panorama. So imagine that, like you can close your eyes and visualize this. So you're getting closer and closer and closer to the edge, and the less you notice the gorgeous, awe-inspiring view, and the more you just feel fear, and all you see are your feet getting closer and closer to the edge. And when you get to the very edge and your toes are just at the edge and the little pebbles are dropping off, you find yourself filled with terror. You're petrified that you might fall off the edge like those little pebbles, but that's all you can see. All you can focus on are your feet and your fear and the pebbles, right? The view is gone. You don't see it at all. That's where a lot of us are stuck right now, is in fear, in terror. And we can't see the view. We have no perspective at all. So here's the trick that I want to teach you. Imagine yourself again, go back, close your eyes. Imagine that you step back one full step. You bring both feet to this place, and what do you feel then? Your terror, more than likely, has been reduced a little bit. And you might even find that you can look from your feet up just a little. If you take another step back, or maybe even 3, so now you've moved about 3 big steps back from the edge, you notice that you don't feel afraid anymore. You're not close to the edge, you're not close enough to the edge to fall or to get hurt, right? No pebbles dropping. From this point, you gain perspective again. You can actually see the whole panoramic view and appreciate it, right? And maybe you even have more appreciation because you were afraid, right? So now you're seeing the whole picture and you're less afraid. From this vantage point, maybe even 1 step back or 2 steps further back, you actually notice that this is not the actual summit, that there are some paths that are going higher and that there's farther to climb and more to see. But you didn't know that before. You didn't notice it when you came up onto the summit, and you didn't notice it from the edge. You had to be, you know, a little farther away from the edge and closer in towards the edge from the path, right, for you to see that there are other paths and more summits to climb. That's the amazing thing, is that when we back away from our fear just enough to gain perspective, we notice that there are some opportunities, that there are other ways to travel around and more to see. So I want you to think about that now, okay? How can you step back from the edge so that you have more perspective and can see the bigger picture of what's going on right now during this pandemic? And how can you see the paths for you to take now during the pandemic or even afterwards? And if you're struggling with courage right now, another thing you can do is you can think back to when you were last courageous, or when was a time in your life when you were super courageous? When did you act boldly? Think about what led up to that and what helped you to be bold, to be courageous. And ask yourself if there's anything you can learn from that time in your life that you could apply now to help you be more bold, to help you be more courageous now during the pandemic. And last, I want to mention faith. So there's an aspect of being courageous and boldness and just dealing with things that are scary like the pandemic that have to do with faith. Faith that things are going to be okay. And it always reminds me of the movie with Indiana Jones. It's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where his father's dying and he has to go get to the chalice or whatever it is, and he comes down this hallway, this rock pathway, and he comes out to the end of it, and there's a huge chasm between him and where he needs to go. He can see the doorway on the other side, but there's no way for him to jump. It's too far for him to jump, and he has to get to that other doorway. And he doesn't know how to do it, but he knows he must, and he remembers being told to have faith. To have faith, his father's actually saying to believe. And he puts one foot out into nothingness, into the air, with faith, with full faith that there must be something there to hold him. And lo and behold, there is an invisible walkway, an invisible bridge made of stone, actually. But he can't see it. And once he gets to the other side, it also disappears, and he has to throw some dirt on it to make sure that he can find it afterwards, that we'll know it's there. And I think that this situation with the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as most scary situations, require us to have that kind of faith, a leap of faith. That's what what Indiana Jones is thinking, that he needs to take a leap of faith. And I think we need to do that too. We need to have the faith that this will turn out okay. Have the faith that there will be good things after this, that for whatever reason we don't know right now, this is all working out for our highest good. And I really believe that. I believe that while there are people out of work, there are people struggling financially, there are people wondering what it'll be like after this. There's a huge amount of uncertainty. I believe that something good will come out of this. I believe people's consciousness is changing. I believe we're connecting more. We're loving more. I believe the earth is healing and is healthier as a result. I think we're all more conscious of living our lives fully. So much good is coming out of this. And we just have to have the faith that if we get through this, that everything will be okay. And so to get through it, you have to do the other things I talked about. Step back a little bit from the edge of the cliff. Step back from your fear so you can feel the awe, so you can have perspective, see the pathways for you, and see the view, see the wonderful panoramic view. And besides that, think about when you were courageous before and bring those lessons into this time and use them to help you. That's it for today. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I help people get from where they are to where they want to go. I help them connect with their highest self, with something bigger than them, and with the part of them that has the ability to show up here as their best self, and to create their best life, to stop doing what we've been told we have to do, living to other people's expectations, and really begin to choose, to create their life, to take back their power and create the life that they want to live so that they have no regrets later. This is a great time during this pandemic to think about that. How do you really want to show up? What life do you really want to live? Create a life of your own choosing and live it fully and be more fulfilled, fulfill your purpose, fulfill your potential, and create the life of your dreams. So if that's something that you feel you'd like some help with, please reach out to me at nina@ninaamir.com or click above, I think it's over here actually, click above on to the link to fill out the application for a free certified high performance coaching strategy session with me. So we'll get on a coaching call and I will coach you and I'll introduce you to some high performance concepts as well as to some tips and tools and strategies that you can use right away to help improve your life, help you get to the next level. I promise you'll walk away with some new insights, some aha moments, and there's no obligation. Of course, it is an opportunity for us to see if we're a good fit to work together. I do have a few slots open in my coaching schedule right now, and what better time than now, with things so uncertain, to get some clarity and some courage and to begin moving forward to achieve your dreams. So if that's of interest to you, click on the link above, and until then, go out there and achieve more inspired results.